1980, Chile reformed its pension provision from a public pay-as-you-go system to a private individual capitalization one. It was one of the biggest privatization experiments of the time, and today the system is still far from perfect. Eduardo Vildosole from AFP Capital is with me now. Eduardo, welcome.
Thank you, Lenny.
What is the foundation of Chile's pension system today and how has it changed?
Basically, the current system is based on individual accounts. That means that every worker every month put their money in their account for the whole working life, which is roughly 40 years, and then they receive what they have been saving for that time. That is compared with the pay-as-you-go system, where you were basically saving for passive workers in a common fund, and there was not a direct relationship between what they were saving and they were receiving at the end of their working life. Besides of that, the current system is based on these individual accounts, which is the mandatory saving, but also we have the voluntary saving pillar, which is related to individual voluntary savings and collective voluntary savings. And also we have a solidarity pillar, which is for people that cannot save so much or so many years, and that part is financed by the state. These are the three pillars.
But the system is still not meeting the expectations of Chileans. Why not, and what are these expectations?
I would say that it's not a complete answered question, because the system is still not mature at all. We have been saving for 30 years, and we need like 40 years to analyze that. But the women who are living more than they were expecting and are being contributing to the system less than they were expecting, because sometimes they are not in the labor force but at home, they have been facing lower replacement rates of 50%. So there's a problem there that we have to address. In the case of men, the replacement rate has been 70%, which is basically what they have been expecting. Furthermore, since the salaries in Chile have been increasing a lot, when you calculate the replacement rate with the last salary, of course you have a very important impact on that. The system was created thinking on a replacement rate calculated on the average of the last 10 years. So when the salaries grow up, you have a gap there. Probably that is part of the answer of the expectation that haven't been fulfilled.
So how can these problems be resolved?
There are 3 to 4 basic ideas on that. The first, of course, is to increase the contribution rate. In Chile, now we have a contribution rate of 10%, which is very low compared with the OECD countries. That, I would say, is the first idea. Probably the second one is trying to foster voluntary savings, both individual savings and collective savings for the middle income range. Third, of course, we are living more, so we have to address that. It means that probably we have to review the age of retirement. And the fourth idea should be to see how employers contribute all of the contributions of their workers every month. I mean, we have to reduce the loopholes, the pension loopholes that we are facing today, which is playing a much important part of the lower replacement rates that we are seeing today.
Might it be possible to delay some of these changes in order to address other problems like loopholes in the system?
I think that we should address both of them. Of course, pension loopholes is something very important to do, but it is something that is a little bit outside of the pension fund managers. It has to do with the labor market, with the supervision of these companies that are not contributing to the system. But the other changes are quite urgent to address. So because at the end of the day, people is living more, and the women are retiring so early, and because of the loopholes we have to increase the contribution rate. You have to take account that in the old system, the contribution rate was almost twice the current contribution rate. It was like 20%. So 10% definitely it is not enough to get the enough money for building the pension that the Chilean people are expecting.
So how is AFP Capital performing within this context?
I think that AFP Capital has done a very innovative approach to the pension business, because I would say most of the competitors have been very focused on the characteristics of the product, but we have been focused on the necessity of building the pension at the end of the day. So we create the so-called Get Your Number campaign, which is basically a campaign where we try our clients to be conscious, to be aware of the necessity of beginning to save the sooner possible, because of the impact of that savings in the pension. So Get Your Number, as a first reaction, you say, "Oh my God, what a big number to save!" But that is very necessary. Remember that this is a mandatory saving, so most of the time people feel very far away of this necessity. At the end of the day, saving competes with consuming, and consuming is more appealing. So we have realized that we have to make our clients to be aware of that through the Get Your Number. And today, we have more than 400,000 clients that had already calculated their number and beginning to do a saving plan in order to finally get the pension. So that is the way we have been competing. We think that is a very unique approach. We are happy that our clients are more aware of what they have to do to, at the end of the day, fulfill their dreams, which is to get enough money at the pension moment so they can do whatever they want at that time.
Eduardo, thank you.
You're welcome.